Like, I feel like in Jiu-Jitsu, like, there's more, like, passive-aggressive behavior or, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's probably the most drama-filled sport I've ever been in.
Yeah, for a bunch of dudes that are supposed to be these big, tough guys, I mean, the petty, whiny, bullshit, butthurt shit that happens in a jiu-jitsu academy is insane.
Yeah.
It's like, insane to me.
It's like in a sport where there's no defined, like, you have this ranking system, but it's going to be different from gym to gym, person to person. But, like, like, if I'm a brown belt and I lose to a purple belt, like, I'm going to be super butthurt. When it's like in wrestling, you didn't have that. Like, hey, dude, like, this guy wrestled for 3 years, you've wrestled for 10, the guy that's wrestled 3 might kick your ass. Yeah. That's the way it might be.
But make no mistake, in every jiu-jitsu gym, there's a pecking order.
Yeah. Yeah, right. they're well, I would say
belts have nothing to do with it.
No, there's not. But
I did see this meme, remember like the movie Old School? They're like at the party or whatever, and Will Ferrell's character's yelling at Blue, the old guy. He's like, Blue, what the hell is this? Go get me this. And it's just like when the upper belt yells at the like white belt. I just thought that was like hilarious.
Dude, yeah, it's just funny because like you always see like, I think the main thing is obviously like people being belted and like, you know, if you beat so and so but they get belted and or like if you're beating a guy routinely, he's a higher belt, or like you're beating this guy and he gets promoted before you, like that's typically where you see a lot of drama. But like at the end of the day, man, like I legit could care less about what belt I am. Like, I just want to get better at the sport.
That's the right approach.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just feel like if you're always fixated on the belt,
sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes we care.
I mean, yeah. Well, like, let me put it to you this way. I think people put way too much focus on it. It's like, oh, well, you know, when I get a brown belt, like, this is going to happen. It's like, well, you are going to get that sometime, but guess what? Like, that day when you get it, you're going to make a post, and then people are going to think it's cool for the ceremony, and then you're training. And then no one's going to care.
There's no magic in that strip of fabric, right?
Like, you got no better from getting a piece of cloth.
Nothing changes.
Especially the belts are more so like, sorry.
No, I said especially when you don't wear a gi like us. No one even knows what belt is. Yeah. No one knows.
Yeah. I'd say it's more so like a honor from your gym. It's like, we see you working hard. We like what you're doing in our gym. We appreciate you, and we think you're this rank in our gym. Like we appreciate you. Like,
but then it's validation.
But then you have
like it's like more like a gym
competitor side of it. If you're an active competitor and you're literally killing everyone and winning everything and not getting promoted, that can be problematic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I even say that?
That can also be problematic.
I agree.
And you're not getting.
And when you're very respected at your gym, at the next, what probably should be promoted to the next level.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. I feel like I know some people like that.
Yeah.
There's a few people around like that.
I mean, I would be like, so I don't know if it's my rep. So I've always been super competitive with anything, but obviously wrestling, combat sports have been my favorite, things I've done sport wise. But I swear that if I had the chance, even when I first started, I didn't want to go against white, blue belts. Like, I was like, man, like, I just want to get thrown in with the best guys. If I get destroyed for a year, 2 years, like, I just want to get better. Mm-hmm. So, like, the first tournament I ever did, I remember I had been training like 2 months. I did a Fuji, and I tried to do the expert division. And the lady's like, that there's going to be like purple and brown. So I was like, yeah. I was like, that's fine. Like, I want tough matches. They didn't let me do it. They made me do the intermediate. But, like, I feel like it's so funny that some people would opt to go the other route and, like, sandbag. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know. Like, I've always just wanted to go against the best guys. Like, that's the only reason the belt, to me, matters. Because once you get to, like, black belt, it's like, okay. Now you're going to, like, these tournaments. And, like, you could get a legit top 20 ranked guy. And it's like, that's the stuff that interests me a lot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So.
it's somewhat good, like in terms of like a hobbyist and like.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
Yeah.
It's completely different for a hobbyist.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
say.
but like at the same time, you gotta like realize like there's levels to it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like I think it's funny, like the intermediate and all that stuff's funny coming from like wrestling because like
there is no
there is none of that.
varsity
and,
or JV.
dude, if you're a first year wrestler and you're varsity, you might come across a state champ and
Yeah.
just might eat your lunch.
You might get mocked.
Yeah.
You might get mocked
And
quickly.
you just kind of got to take that ass whooping in front of everybody. In
I
the
mean, yeah,
stands.
let's be honest, freshman year of high school was a rough one.
Which
Yeah.
we've all had that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it builds character.
Yeah.
You know.
I think I was varsity, so I started wrestling in 7th grade. I was varsity my first year wrestling, and I think the only move I knew, really, like even obviously besides like some leg attacks that were obviously not great at the time, I would just try to snap people like into a front headlock with an underhook and just try to airplane them,
And just pancake.
like just pancake them. So like usually before the match, if a really chubby kid came out, I'm like, I can pancake the shit out of this dude. And then like some other dudes, like dude, some people took my lunch money because some of those kids, you know, they've been wrestling since 2nd, 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like obviously I didn't like losing, but like I wasn't salty about it. I'm like, I just need to get better. Like I didn't want to. I just don't like how there's divisions that like. It's like because if I'm winning stuff at intermediate, I don't think I'd ever be happy because I'm like, there's a whole nother tier above that.
Yeah.
So it's like that'd be like winning a state championship, but knowing like, hey, I won the intermediate state championship, but there's all these expert levels. It's like, so where am I really at?
Yeah.